Do you know what this is? You've probably been waiting this for quite some time now. Hello everyone! Hello everyone! This is part 2 to our previous story time. This is how we got together, part 2. The very highly requested part 2. So please, if you haven't seen part 1, then definitely go and watch part 1 now. Otherwise, some of this probably
will not make sense otherwise.
Yeah, not much sense. Definitely watch that. We'll link it below, or I'll pop it here above my face somewhere just for a few seconds. Somewhere here. Now it's gone. Okay. Right, so should we just get...
Now you've lost your chance.
Should we just get on with it now? Should we just
jump right into where we left off? Where did we leave off? Last time we spoke about how we went to Latitude together. You took me to Latitude. Spoke about how...
Previously on Darren and Rosie.
We spoke about how...
Sorry.
We spoke about how Darren had a spare ticket to Latitude Festival. The reason in the last video, which we realised we didn't address in the last video, so we will fill you in now. The reason I said we had a spare ticket, or Darren had a spare ticket to Latitude that she gave me, was because I only actually found out after we got together. This was not a spare ticket. Darren bought the ticket for me.
I just bought it. I just bought a new ticket.
You're so bad.
And
you didn't buy it until after I'd agreed to go.
And I'd do it again.
Last time we spoke about how we went to Latitude, Darren took me to Latitude, we came home, I slept over for the night.
And that's where we ended.
This is where we begin with this story time. We wake up the morning after Latitude and we just chilled, just laying, just far apart in bed.
Yeah.
Like you do when you sleep over a friend's house.
That was the first time in a long time that I had anyone stay over, yet alone a person that I, after that day, really liked. But just anyone in general, so it was strange, but it didn't feel strange. I was just like, that was I had a good night's sleep that night.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I just was zonked. Just got home, fell on the bed, fell asleep. And I actually woke up and Darren made me breakfast in bed. She made me Cocoa Pops in bed.
Yeah, well, I just thought, I don't know.
I don't know what came over you.
I was like, I'm just going to go and bring her some Cocoa Pops, because I like this girl, and that's what I do when I like people, apparently. Eating Cocoa Pops.
That was in our wardrobe.
No.
Aww.
And I could tell that you thought it was sweet and like a nice gesture.
It's like, Cocoa Pops in bed, thanks.
So the next day was the Monday, and we basically listened to the band Haim that day because we had just seen them previously. We were listening to them and we had this really nice day together again.
Yeah.
Because like I knew that Latitude was good, and I was worried that the next day it was gonna, not awkward, but it just wasn't gonna be as good, and like we were just caught up in Latitude, and it was gonna just be like, that was a good day yesterday.
I thought we'd just wake up, maybe have some breakfast, and I'd go about 10 or 11, like the sort of time you normally leave someone else's house. I was there until 8 o'clock that night.
And you still didn't want to go home, and I didn't want you to go home either.
And Darren walked me home as well.
Oh yeah, I did.
Such a little gentle woman.
I'm a gentle woman.
So I stayed around that whole day until 8 o'clock when we decided that I would go.
That day for me cemented my feelings for you, and that made me happy and made me scared at the same time. Because you were with someone, in my eyes, it was never going to happen, although I thought we got along really well. I thought, you know, I'm going to get friend-zoned.
I thought we got along really well. And I thought it was really nice of you to make me breakfast in bed, and there were a lot of nice gestures. I think I didn't really think about the fact that you might actually have feelings for me. I just thought you might want to be good friends with me. It wasn't until 2 days later that I actually started thinking maybe she does like me more, because there was no inkling at all that Darren was even interested in girls. Darren had only ever been with guys before that I knew of anyway, and had always spoken to me about guys that she'd liked, or like we never had those conversations anyway, but
no.
Whenever I'd hear you talking about someone, it would always be a guy, like, oh, my ex-boyfriend this, or, you know, the guy I used to like this, or
yeah,
there was never any indication that you might be interested in women at all. And so I kind of didn't really think that way. If you were out as bisexual, I might have thought about it as more, but I didn't really think about it like that because I just assumed you were straight.
Yeah.
Because you never told me otherwise.
So that was the Monday. We spent all of Monday together. I walked you home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tuesday, nothing really happened in terms of our relationship at all.
We text a lot. I feel like we
just text a bit quite, you know, throughout the day. Just said it was nice at Latitude. spoke about
Probably
Hive.
saying that we missed Latitude a lot.
Probably, yeah, we had Latitude Blues, serious
Yeah,
Latitude Blues.
Serious.
Wednesday, I didn't see Darren that day. I went out to the beach for the day with a few of my friends and we just sunbathed on the beach and chilled and got chips and ice cream and just chilled. And they were all like, how was Latitude Festival? Because they knew how much I wanted to go and they were really happy that I finally got to go. They'd never really met Darren before. They'd kind of seen her on the...
Your friend Nick knew me before he knew you.
Yeah, one of my friends knew Darren before I even knew her. Like, you'd known each other since...
We were little.
You
I
were
went
really
to his
young.
birthday party. I wonder if he remembers it. If you're watching, Nick, I went to one of your birthday parties when we were like really little.
But my best friend Casey, who I was also like with at the time, who was with us when we went to the beach, she'd never met Darren before. She knew of her because I'd spoke about this girl in psychology that I sat opposite. But they'd never properly met. So I told them all about how Darren had made me breakfast in bed, even if it was Cocoa Pops, it was still really sweet. And Nick was like, oh, maybe she likes you, maybe she fancies you, like just in the way that friends do. And I was like, oh no, don't be silly. And he was like, oh, it does sound really sweet though, it does sound like she really must like you. I was like, I've got a girlfriend. But like I mentioned in the other video, like that relationship was really coming to an end at this point. Like it was just almost completely over anyway. It was kind of like a mutual agreement that we probably weren't gonna be good for each other anymore. And then that day I kind of started to think more.
You kind of looked over the whole weekend and the whole experience and...
Just spent the day just kind of thinking about it. Not like, oh my god, I love Darren, I want to dump my girlfriend and be with Darren. It wasn't like that at all. It was a lot more innocent. It was... She has been really nice to me.
Oh, we're holding hands off camera. Sorry.
Stop, don't expose it!
Reminiscing always does this to us. We kind of get all goody.
Yeah, it was a nice day again, and that was kind of the day that sparked me thinking about Darren as more than a friend. And that was the moment when I thought maybe it isn't good for me to be in the relationship if I'm thinking about someone else. So I stayed around my best friends, that night, and then the next morning I wake up and me and my friend are having breakfast, and me and Darren are just texting saying morning, and we decide we're going to do something that day. And we're like, oh, where could we go? We could go out
to the beach.
We could go to the beach. We could go to the park.
Cinema, I don't know.
We could go for food. But no.
We could just stay in.
Or we could just stay in.
And both of us would secretly
lay
just
in bed and watch films.
That's what I wanted to
and
do.
That was secretly what I wanted to hint at. But I didn't want to say that if you were the sort of person that liked to go out and do things and be sociable. But no, we're both...
I just wanted another day like Monday.
Yeah, same. I just wanted to relive it.
So good. I would see if it would be really good again.
So we just laid in that day and watched films again all day. And that was it. Did I stay over that day? Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah. And I went home on Friday morning. And Friday, I actually... me and my girlfriend actually broke up on Friday. It was a mutual decision. It wasn't messy or anything. It was just, it happened. And I texted Darren and told her.
And I will admit, I felt not happy because you just, I've wanted to talk to you and make sure you were okay and everything.
Yeah.
But to me, when you told me that you were single, I was like, something could actually happen now.
There was a bit more of a possibility. The day after that, Saturday. So it's almost a week since Latitude. Latitude was on a Sunday. Saturday rolls around and it's been almost a week. And I'm at work again. At work the whole day, because at this point I was only working one day a week. I'm at work all day. I work 9 till 6. I had McDonald's for dinner that night. It was good. It was a good time.
Sweet.
Got home. I remember I was sat in my kitchen on the sofa eating McDonald's, and I get a text from Darren saying she's going out that night to the pub for some drinks with some friends, and wants to know if I want to come with them. But I hadn't really ever met her friends before. She was going with 2 friends, and I felt a bit like, what if they don't like me? What if I don't get along with them? I'm not very good in social situations. I'm not really an avid pub goer. Not really an avid pint drinker. So I don't go to the pub that night.
You don't go, you say no. Obviously I was like, oh, but you know, maybe it is too soon to go out on a night out together. Like, we're still not sure of what's happening here. Maybe, you know, I'll just go out and have a good night with my friends. And I had a really good night. Maybe too much of a good night.
Because Darren went on to drunk text me.
Yes.
I actually have a list of all of the cute things that Darren sent to me at the time. I'm gutted you can't come tonight. And she said, I just want to call you. I hope I don't put you off. It would be 100 times better if you were here.
Where is it? Where's the iconic one that you knew that it was so obvious that I liked you? What is it?
You sent me a text, and up until this point we'd just been talking. Darren had just been saying cheesy soppy things, but I was like, she's just drunk, it's just drunken talk. Yeah. And then she sent me a text and she said, you confuse me, Rosie Cordell, using my full name, and that's when you know shit's getting serious.
I'm flirting when I use your full name.
And I said, why is that, Darren Corbett? And you said, when I'm around you, I'm like, fuck, I could look into your eyes all day.
And what did I say as well later? I was like, I only feel bi when I'm around you.
And then you said, I really like you.
Yeah.
And I said, I like you too. And then everything kind of changed. We weren't together at that point at all. It took another week or so to get together. But that was the point where we knew we had feelings for each other, or were developing feelings for each other. Darren's feelings were stronger because she'd liked me for longer, but I was just kind of feeding off all of the nice things you were saying to me, and it was just making me all bubbly. So it's the next day, Sunday, and I surprised Darren at work, and I just walk into the shop that she's working in, and I'm just strolling around, and then she sees me.
I had a weird feeling when I was at work that day that you might show up. Like, you may have hinted, but I don't know. I just had a weird feeling that you might show up, so I was just kind of there the whole day, just like, I wonder if Rosie's gonna walk in.
Shit. And then I did, and it was like 10 minutes towards the end of our shift or something.
And I was like, oh, spontaneous. Was it spontaneous?
No.
No?
No. So yeah, I surprised her at work and asked her if she would like to go out with me that night with me and a group of my friends. I was only in there for a couple of minutes, kind of like, do you want to come out somewhere? And you were like, I'll let you know when I get home, I'll text you. And I was like, okay, bye. And then just like ran out. Darren did actually come out with me that night. We did go and we watched fireworks on the beach.
I remember thinking that I wanted to be really close to you, but I don't know how to be close with you. I don't know, especially in public or even alone. Like, I've never been with a girl like that before. So I was like, but it was really exciting. I had like a really good night, and they went off in their group, and I remember we were sat on a bench.
We just sat on a bench.
Two, talking for ages. Yeah, the Monday after the rough race.
Literally the day after. The day after we went to the beach,
you come round again.
I came round again and brought a little bag with all my things in because I was going to stay around that night. And I came round, and that was the first time we had any sort of contact that wasn't just like, you're so funny. It was like physical contact.
Like, you were laying down.
And I remember I was laying down on my side
watching the film or something,
and you were laying on your side. We weren't spooning.
No,
but we had like a bit in between.
What was I said? We're in the same drawer, but we're not spooning. That's what I said.
That's what you actually said.
Yeah.
So we were laying,
and I just rested my
Darren
hand.
had her hand on my side, and it was like contact.
I was just like scared, like,
and I was like, fuck.
And like, it was getting more and more, and one time I left the room and I was like, oh, I'm just going to the toilet, or just going to get a drink or something, see you later. And I just went, see you later, and I just walked out. And I remember walking out the door and just going and then, did you come around later in the week?
I think we might have just texted throughout the week. We probably saw each other at some point.
We didn't want to come off too keen.
We were very keen, Darren.
So keen.
And then on the 1st of August, which was a Friday, I came round and we were just having our normal day.
Just watching Friends.
Laying in bed, sitting, talking, snacking.
There was a lot of eye contact going on, I think.
And that was the day we had our first kiss, which was spoken about in the girlfriend tag briefly. We both knew it was going to happen. It was it felt like the day was leading up to something. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of eye contact involved. There was about an hour where I think Darren was psyching herself up to kiss me. So we had our first kiss.
And it was so good. And we were just so... We kissed more after that. It was very apparent we weren't just friends. You kind of joked and you were like, oh, we're such a Tumblr couple. And I was like, a couple? And you were like, yeah. And I was
We
like...
basically are.
I was like, yeah, we basically are. We're a couple. And then that's kind of...
that's how we got
That's
together.
the magical story of how we got together.
There was no asking, do you want to be my girlfriend? It was just, we basically are a couple. We're obviously not friends. Friends
This is
don't
good.
kiss like this.
Yeah.
And don't feel this way about each other. And yeah, that's the story of how we got together.
So thank you very much. That was part 2. If you want to hear more story times of all the first dates
We
and
have
all
so
stuff
many stories.
like that, or us telling our friends, us telling our family about us together, then you tell us, let us know, and we will definitely
We'll
do
film
that.
it for you if you want that.
So thank you very much for watching. This has been so nice. I love it.
I love to reminisce with you. Thank
Hi.
you for watching, and thank
Thank
you
you.
for requesting and enjoying part 1 so much. We were overwhelmed.
Yeah, we thought people would find it boring, so this is incredible. Thank you for listening to our story. We hope you like it. So like, subscribe, do all those great things, and we will see you soon.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
We
Bye-bye.
love you all. Bye.
Love you all.